Enough of this garbage. This is Christmas.
Welcome back to Stream It, the holiday special finale, right before the holidays. 4 days out of Christmas, right?
Wow.
4, yep. All right, so we're going to talk about, well, we assigned each other movies last week. So you had Happiest Season, you had 8-Bit Christmas, and I had Love Actually. But first, I want to know, what is a show or movie that you think would also make a good video game?
Ooh.
We've talked before about what is a video game that would make a good show. So this is just the reverse.
A show that would make a good video game.
So I have one, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Might be a low-hanging fruit these days, but imagine this. Open world Dune. You walk around the spice planet, you gotta dodge the worms, you gotta collect the spice, you gotta do all that. Then you have the, I forget the name of the natives that live there, the native people, but that, like, the Zendaya people,
Yeah.
them, you gotta interact with them. I think that would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
That's like perfect.
Trademark Tom Brown. Before
I feel like I want to piggyback on that with The Mandalorian would be.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh! I guess we're all in that like open world. Like,
if you're not making open world video games now, what's the point?
Yeah, I mean that would be. Plus the way he fights and all of his gadgets and like,
Yeah.
that'd be pretty sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Get the jetpack out and like cruise around.
And then you could be like, there could be just like a side thing where you get to be Osaka.
There could be a
Is that
whole,
her
like,
name?
racing
Ahsoka.
level.
Ahsoka.
There could be a whole
that
racing
would be
level with
good.
the spaceship.
That would be good.
A lot of stuff.
I think they were supposed to have an open world, like, not the Mandalorian, but like a Mandalorian. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's still happening, though.
The other one that I've actually thought of before and I just remembered, I don't know if there ever was any legit game, but if they made one like now with today's technology and they made like a Jurassic Park game where you just had to like almost kind of like a maybe it could be open world, but almost in a way that like just things like come at you and you've got to escape and like fight off I don't know.
That would be good.
Ride dinosaurs. But like with today's like graphics and stuff, it'd be incredible.
They have like a Zoo Tycoon type of Jurassic Park game that's out now. I think it came out like 2 years ago,
Oh yeah.
but
No, I'm talking like PS5,
like an actual story.
PS5 story. You're basically Red Dead, but instead of like horses and like just dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs and Jeeps.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
That sounds awesome.
I think they should make an Iron Man game
Yeah.
that's like story and like kind of open world, but like follows like, you know,
Yeah.
the story. Because then you can like build the suits like as you like move along through the game.
yeah,
Because he has like all the different versions. So like
That's
you have to
true.
like build your way up. I think
I
that'd
like
be cool.
that. That's another little wrinkle you could add.
I just woke up thinking about going home with you and got very excited about Christmas. I get to go meet the people that made my favorite person.
I'll always take December way over summer.
Abby, you and Harper have a perfect relationship.
She is my person, and I really want everyone to know that. I want to marry her.
What are you doing on your phone?
I left a gentleman alone in my apartment, so I'm tracking him to make sure he leaves.
You're tracking him?
Yeah, I track everybody. If the NSA can do it, so can I.
I'm so excited. I can't believe I'm finally going to meet everyone.
There's something that we should talk about. Hi. I didn't tell my parents. I'm gay.
So who do they think I am?
This is Harper's orphan friend, Abby.
Yes, of course. They're there.
You're so brave. You don't need to be.
I cannot believe I've got all my daughters under one roof.
So her parents believe their straight daughter brought home her lesbian friend for Christmas?
Not exactly. They also think that I'm straight.
Have they ever met a lesbian?
This is why I avoid Christmas. It brings out the worst in everything.
I've always skated circles around you. I love it when they do this.
You're such a cheater!
Makes it so fun.
No! Just be yourself, but don't lie. You're a very bad liar. Riley! Harper. This is Abby. Abby is my
Orphan. Roommate. I am an orphan, but we live together. As friends. Like acquaintances.
Oh, please stop.
Yeah.
Bells ring out on the
I can relate to being in love with somebody that is too afraid to show the world who they are.
What are you doing in the closet?
have I been good in
I'm here to rescue you.
Are you the ex-boyfriend?
Yes, I am very sexually attracted to her. A female. I nailed that, and she is fabulous.
You're the only girl I've got on my list. I write your name, I know it's foolish.
I am scared that if I tell them who I really am, I will lose them.
Do you know how painful it's been to watch the person that I love hide me?
I am not hiding you. I am hiding me.
Everybody's story is different. Just because Harper isn't ready doesn't mean she doesn't love you.
Happiest Season was like a classic rom-com, except it was two ladies who were in a relationship, and one of them had not come out to their parents yet, and they were going home to her house. Her dad was like some politician running for like the mayor or whatever, so felt like they had to be perfect. So there was that whole like competition for love.
And she
going
was like
on.
the perfect one.
She was like, yeah, because she was like a big time writer with some like big paper or something, and yeah. But there was three sisters, and they were all like vying for their parents' love and afraid to like be anything but like perfect. And then, but she was, so she brought home her girlfriend and played it off like they were just roommates, and hijinks ensued. But no, it was kind of like that, like, you know, you can't really like hide that person away. Like if you love them, then you can't like ask them not to be themselves and that whole thing. And but really well done. It had its like funny parts. It like the run-ins with exes and the whole like going back to the hometown thing. Everything you want out of a Christmas rom-com, but in a different light with and I don't even know his real name, but David from
Dan Levy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Dan Levy.
Dan Levy. Yeah. He was in it. He was funny. He was Kristen Stewart's friend in it, and yeah, he was good. He was funny. And yeah, it was a good story, a good modern story. There should be more of those dynamics on screen, so it was good.
Yeah.
You guys, does that?
Yeah, it had the classic like the three different type of sisters. There was the like type A, I'm married, I'm uptight, Allison Brie,
with the family and the kids.
But not a happy marriage, if I'm remembering.
Mm-hmm.
So they were pretending it was, and then turns out they had filed for divorce months earlier.
And then the sister that everyone thought was kind of the goofy screw up oddball.
Yeah,
it was good.
Who was like, she like wrote a book about like fantasy dragons. It was like this huge bestseller. That was funny.
It's hard to write. Like I feel like it's hard to write new original Christmas music and like new holiday movies because everything's been done.
Yeah.
But I feel like this one was like, I mean, it's still the coming home for the holidays trope, but it was like, no, you like made it different, and it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done.
I thought they did a good job too with the ex-boyfriend when she was in high school and didn't know who she was, but then after meeting Riley, but by the way, Team Riley.
Me too.
Oh yes, Riley was
big time.
The first girlfriend in high school.
And that's who she was like. It might be when they go to the drag bar that she's like, yeah, she has done this before.
Right.
And
afraid to tell people. And actually in that story, the daughter outed Riley to the school.
Yes.
And then said like that she wasn't.
And, right, that's what it was.
Really
yeah.
Hard for Riley, and then she's like telling Kristen Stewart's character like that happened, and if she's not going to be her true self, then you maybe don't want to be with kind of thing.
I feel like they made. I can't remember what the daughter's name is, like the Kristen's girlfriend. I don't remember what her name was. I just remember Riley. Harper,
Yeah,
right?
it's Harper,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. I feel like they made her just a little too mean to Kristen Stewart in like the middle part of the movie, where it's
Yeah.
like, I'm not really on board with you like ending up with her in the end now, because like you were a little unnecessarily mean at some point.
Yeah, or like super detached.
Yeah.
Like at some point you'd be like, I know this sucks, and like there was a little bit of that, but like I'm still like here with you kind of thing. It kind of like got farther and farther from that, which was a lot. I actually loved right at the end. She's like, they're at the Christmas Eve party. It goes to like crap, and everybody goes home, and then they're like debriefing as a family. She finally tells her parents right then, and Kristen Stewart's character's standing there, and she's like, it's too late. And I was like, yes, like,
Right.
get out
Same.
of there, bounce. Like, that's right. You don't deserve that. Like,
I felt the same. I was like, good,
but
not going to
then,
end
like,
up.
the old chase down at the gas station
Ugh.
before they hit the highway, like, and
It's also funny Dan Levy tracks her. He's like, I track everybody.
I also thought there was a moment when they went for a walk after that like big blow up at the party, and he was just telling about like they were having a conversation about coming out stories, and like in his character, he's like, you know, my parents kicked me out of the house, and I like didn't see them for 13 years or something, and like he was like, but what happened to you? And she was like, well, my parents like supported me and said they love me no matter what. And he was like, yeah, that's amazing, and not everybody gets that response. And I don't know, I feel like that was like a very purposeful scene, and like nice to, you know, for what they're doing with this story. Like that was a good scene to have in there. So yeah, that was, and Dan Levy was like the comedy relief, and then hits that like point to drive home. So that was good. But yeah, I liked it. If you haven't seen it, definitely a good watch.
Finally.
Yeah.
I know, a
A
whole
year
year.
later.
I hadn't even heard of it really.
Throughout the years, working title films and writer Richard Curtis have captured the euphoria, hysteria, and humiliation of love. With the films Four Weddings and a Funeral, Notting Hill, and Bridget Jones's Diary. This holiday season, join this unforgettable filmmaking team
Welcome, Prime Minister. This is Natalie. Hello, David. I mean, sir.
20 years ago, you'd have been just his type.
as they explore that time of year when desires are revealed.
I'm in love.
Aren't you a bit young to be in love?
No.
Oh, okay.
Secrets are exposed.
Your secretary is very pretty.
Is she?
Be careful there.
And chances are finally taken.
All I want for Christmas is you.
Universal Pictures invites you to take everything you know about love.
You have this kind of problem? Yeah, of course you did, you saucy minx.
And multiply it by 8.
Would you excuse me for 1 second? Okay, that's done.
Hugh Grant, Liam Neeson, Colin Firth, Laura Linney, Emma Thompson, Alan Rickman, Rowan Atkinson, Keira Knightley.
Christmas is the time to be with the people you love. Yeah, I need a car.
This holiday season,
Does Natalie live here?
all you need
Hello.
is love, actually.
Are you singing carols?
I suppose I could.
Please, sir, please.
Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, when the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even.
Yeah, so I watched Love Actually.
Right.
I prepared a lot of notes because there's a lot of couples, and that's like the best way I feel like to go through this movie. Because there's no like real plot. It's just
No,
like,
it's the lives
stories
of like
them.
those couples. Yeah.
It reminded me of you know, like Valentine's Day, and then they made New Year's Eve. I feel like this was like the first thing that inspired those movies.
Yeah.
So, I guess I'll just move through the couples.
Let's do it.
All right. So Liam Neeson and the stepson. Liam Neeson's wife, like, just recently passed away, and now he's like with the stepson.
Right.
And the stepson is all depressed, and he thinks it's because of the mom, and he's like, "No, I'm just in love." And I was like, "Okay, glossing over the mom." All right. But so then Liam Neeson's like helping him like get this girl, and like drives him to the airport so he can like kiss her goodbye.
One of the stranger like chase downs.
Yeah,
in a
I'm like,
movie.
this is a little kid. And he's like, "Oh, she's going to the airport tonight." And he's like, "Get in the car, we're going." I was like, okay.
It's the 90s.
So I rated each of the couples for like my personal opinion. Gave this one 7 out of 10 just because the little boy was cute. Okay.
He was 15.
Wait, what?
He was 15 years old. In the actor. The actor is 5 years younger than Keira Knightley in that movie.
Wait, the little boy.
Yeah, he was 15.
Wow.
What? I thought he was like 7.
He played like an 8-year-old or something, but yeah, he was 15. Just a fun fact.
Okay, 2 out of 10 because the boy was 15 all along. Okay, then there's the Keira Knightley, Chiwetel Ejiofor?
Yeah.
Rick.
No.
No.
Oh.
Rick is a guy named Andrew Lincoln.
Oh, right.
Is it Chiwetel?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's like, so he gets married to Keira Knightley, and then Rick is the best friend of the guy, but is secretly in love with Keira Knightley. And then she finds out because he filmed the wedding, but it's all just close-ups of her face.
Yeah.
Which didn't sit right with me. It was a little creepy. And she watches it with him and is like, "Whoa, but you've never spoken to me. I thought you didn't like me." So
Strange.
then he just like brushes it off and then shows up at the house with like the cards.
Yeah.
Which I thought was going to be a way more romantic scene with no context. But going into it, I was like, she's married. And like, that's your best friend. And you don't need... Anyways.
Yeah, it's not...
They
It's the drama.
It's not a good look.
No. Like, what if he had opened the door? What if
Okay,
the
so I was
husband
just going to
did?
say, I saw that on Letterboxd. What was his backup plan if Chiwetel Ejiofor opened the door with these cards? Just like, "Hey, mate, what's with the cards?" It's nothing. Zombies.
And he's not even like trying to win her over. He's just like, "I think you're special. That's it."
Yeah.
And then walks away. And then she kisses him. And then they just go their separate ways. So,
It's everything you want.
yeah, 3 out of 10. Bad best friend. Why did she kiss him? Colin Firth, and he has a housekeeper. But in the beginning, so he gets cheated on by his girlfriend or wife. Then he goes to like their vacation home to write a book and to get away from it all.
Right.
And a Portuguese woman is going to be his housekeeper, but she doesn't speak English and he doesn't speak Portuguese. So they're like kind of into each other, but like every time he says something, she doesn't understand him, but she ends up saying like the same thing back. So they're like, you know,
Right.
they're connecting and they
Yeah.
just don't realize it. Then she leaves and he starts learning Portuguese and finally goes and finds her in her hometown, and you find out that she's been learning English. So he proposes to her and they like actually are able to talk to each other when they like say yes. So 8 out of 10. I actually rooted for them.
There's only one language, and it's love.
Right? That was the only one that I was like, this was cute. Okay. It was very cheesy, but like, this is what I was expecting. Okay, then Hugh Grant plays the prime minister, and someone starts working for him, and they speak once, and they're both immediately in love with each other. So, like, all right. Also, she is like just an average-looking woman, and there's so many fat jokes about her in the movie.
Yeah.
It is so bizarre. Like, everyone's like, "Yeah, you mean the chunky one?" And I'm like, wait, am I missing something? So that was weird. 5 out of 10. I didn't care about them.
It's
Felt
interesting
very
once you
weird.
start...
When was this movie made?
2003.
Was it?
Once you start putting picking holes into these freaking little holes, you're like, is this movie good?
At this point, all I really remember is the song.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, then there's Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman. They're a married couple, but he's cheating on her with his young coworker or like employee. Like he's the boss. Let's see. She finds out and gets upset, but then they're like fine by the holiday. They're like all hanging out as a family again. So didn't like that. Thought she should have been a little more angry.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were all right. They're two really good actors, so I thought like they were like a solid part of the movie.
Right.
Oh, this one was my favorite. Martin Freeman and this like other random girl
Oh,
are like
yeah.
the stand-in actors for like intimate scenes in a movie. But they're just having casual conversation the whole time. And they're not even like a huge part of the movie. It's like every 30 minutes you get like a little scene with them. And then he just like acts her out after and she's like, yeah, sure. And it's like super just friendly and like normal. So 10 out of 10. They were my favorite.
Nice.
Almost done. Laura Linney. And the actor's name is Rodrigo Santoro. He was in... You would know him if you saw his face. I like was surprised he was in this movie. He's like very famous. I'm trying to think of a... Oh, he's in Westworld. He is with Maeve. He's like the...
Oh, yeah.
The cowboy who's with... Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And they're co-workers that have a crush on each other. But she has this weird side story where her brother is in like a mental facility, which would have been a good storyline, but they never develop it further other than that he keeps calling her when she's trying to be with this guy. And she briefly is like, yeah, he needs me. And then you see him once and then you never hear about that storyline again. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why are you taking care? I have so many questions. 5 out of 10, unfulfilled potential. There's a guy who goes to America just to like meet American women.
Yeah.
And that one was stupid. I didn't like that one. Didn't matter at all. 0 out of 10. And then the guy who wrote the song, I gave him a 1 out of 10 because I didn't care, but the song was catchy.
But isn't his relationship with his like best friend his manager?
Oh, yeah.
That's like
That was sweet.
They're like that's what the whole thing is there. It sounds like there could have been like one more day in the writer's room. Like, okay, is there any fat we can trim here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, is there American Guy story? Maybe.
Definitely. And then they all kind of like connect, but it's not like in huge ways. It's like, oh, a lot of them are coworkers, or like you can tell like some of them must be related to the other characters in the story. Like I think Emma Thompson is the sister of Hugh Grant, but you don't find out until the end.
Right.
So those little fun things. But I mean, overall, it was a very entertaining movie. Just a little problematic. There's a lot of cheating in this movie.
Yeah, it's tough to pick someone to root for.
Yeah. But very fun. Clearly, if you can tell from my notes, I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you really you took that serious.
Every kid has that one gift they want more than anything for Christmas. This is the story of mine.
Bookends? They have baseballs on them. I see that.
No, not those. Nintendo. A maze of rubber wiring and electronic intelligence so advanced it was deemed not a video game, but an 8-bit entertainment system.
No Nintendo in my house.
I second that.
Looks like a no-go on Nintendo.
I needed a Christmas miracle. The year was 1987, or was it 88? Super Bowl was in 86.
Okay, does it really matter, Dad?
Okay. The year was the late 80s. I was 11 years old.
Did you wear a helmet?
Yeah, we always wore helmets in the 80s. Me and my friends would do anything just to play one.
Any of you huddle masters want to play? What have you brought me?
I got a goldfish!
Untraceable cash money!
It's the final countdown.
One thing became clear. I needed to get my own.
This is bigger than Christmas. This is our Vietnam.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
I have no idea what it means. We're gonna get in so much trouble.
Sometimes during Christmas, just when you think that all hope is lost, something magical happens.
Sold out in 20 minutes.
It's ugly.
One woman punched her grandma right in the throat. Same family, too.
Are you making all this up?
No way.
Did you guys hear the new reselling contest?
First prize is a brand new Nintendo Entertainment System.
I'm gonna kill you! Hold on.
There are no rules. That Nintendo's mine.
What do you want?
Wanna buy a wreath?
Ma! This kid thinks your wreath sucks!
Video games have been doing all kinds of strange things to children.
What?
It was the 80s. Stuff got real.
Red Dog, this is Bluebird.
This is Rainbow 1.
What happened to Red Dog?
I changed it.
Well, let's change names now. This is Millennium Falcon. Super cool.
Woo! Love it.
Rated PG.
Yeah, I watched 8-Bit Christmas.
Oh, yes.
The new HBO movie with Neil Patrick Harris. I love Steve Zahn, who plays his dad. I've always liked that actor.
Yeah.
So that was fun, but it really was 2021's version of A Christmas Story.
Right, about the 80s.
Yeah. The Red Rifle. There's you had the classic like friend group, the best friend, the twins.
Yep.
The liar. The liar was funny. That little kid that just like told lies all the time. There's the bully. There's the really weird kid that eats erasers, and then the kid that gets sick, who is like, it was funny in the description. It's like so and so who's allergic to SpaghettiOs and bees, and he probably has to get going soon. And then he goes, "Yeah, I probably got to get going soon." And then, it really is like the classic, like we said last week a bunch, Hijinks ensue.
Yep.
Just trying to get a Nintendo.
Yeah, that had just come out. I love the like glove.
Yeah, the power glove.
The power glove is like an accessory you could get for it.
Was that a real thing?
It was.
Wait, so part of the movie was that one kid had.
Yes, there was the
Nintendo.
rich kid in town,
and they would like line up outside his house like on Saturday mornings to like be one of 10 kids that was allowed to come play with him.
And oh my God,
the kid was such a dink.
He gets mad and kicks his TV, and it lands on his family dog. And I was like, okay, this is funny. And then the daughter to Neil Patrick Harris, like, I didn't know a dog dies in this. And he was like, hey, it was the 80s. We both opened up Game Boy Colors, and his was teal and mine was berry. So mine was red, his was green. And green's my favorite color, so I was a little like, I mean, how does Santa not know green's my favorite color? But anyways, I played it for like 12 hours the day on Christmas
that could
Day.
have been in this movie though.
Yeah.
Like, how did they not know my favorite color was green?
It's just like,
because everybody had that like I don't know that.
He got the teal one, but okay.
So this was during like the Santa years.
Yeah, I must have been like Pokemon like 10 or 11 when that was like, so yeah, probably end of the Santa years.
Okay. Because that was always the thing that my mom said was so hard, was like, when I was younger, I'd be like, but I asked for it. Like, why couldn't he bring this for
Why
me
couldn't he make it?
if that's all I wanted? And she was like, maybe he ran out. I'm like, that's not how it works. He makes them.
That's not how it works.
Yeah, I was
What
like,
do you know?
this isn't working for me. I'm like, he must be mad about
I've
something.
seen the movies. I've talked to my friends about it.
There was one year, I was like a teenager too, so I was just being awful. I was really upset that my mom didn't get me Taylor Swift tickets, which is so unreasonable. So unreasonable.
When you get older and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, I was like, I was a jerk. I think about this often. And it's because on Christmas Day, she had gotten me this like really nice digital camera, which used to be a big deal back then. And I was like, oh, I feel so bad that she got me like a camera. And I was like, but I wanted to go to Taylor Swift.
I know. And then thinking about it now, like as a dad, like I would just never want like my child to like be upset on like Christmas. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's like pressure now. And then I was like, wow, like I hope I was never a jerk to like my parents.
So I wasn't a jerk to my parents ever, but there was this one time, much like the red green, there's no difference, whatever. I opened like tons of gifts, me and my brothers, all of us. I have 3 brothers, so Christmas was a big deal and probably very expensive for my parents. And one year we're cleaning up the wrapping paper, and there's one more gift buried, and it had my name on it.
Oh.
So I'm like, yes, one more gift. Awesome. I can't wait. And
Socks.
No lie, it was wool socks. I was like,
jump.
Heartbreak. And then I was like,
this is supposed to be the gift.
I know, it's the movie. It's like Buzz Lightyear getting pulled out of the closet. And I mean, I probably wore them all the time playing in the snow, but that's not what's important to you at that age.
Yeah, you get so wrapped up in it. And that's what was great about that movie. Was it just they were so wrapped up in the Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was what every kid went through.
Oh, how funny was the Boy Scout scene when one kid got Boy Scout magazine or something, and the guy was like, grew up on that magazine, a lot of good articles, and then the twins get the Globe, and he just dumps it, and then he's like, okay, this is the best one yet. This is the best thing, and it's encyclopedias, which my grandmother used to have like a headboard there were just volumes of encyclopedias. Like it was like a bookshelf headboard.
Yeah.
Those were such a thing, encyclopedias.
Right,
and it was like, if we had a social studies project, we'd go upstairs. My grandmother lived above us and be like, Nana, can I borrow this encyclopedia? It was just so funny and spot on. And then on Christmas morning, you got the book stops. That was really good.
And globes were like a thing. Like my brother had a globe.
I had a globe.
And it was like, I remember like my mom was always like, yeah, but this is like a nice globe. Because it was like tan. Instead of like the blue. Yeah, she was like, don't get rid of that. It's a nice globe.
Mine was topographic, so the Rocky Mountains.
Ooh.
That's nice.
Wow. My favorite part of that movie is the snow day scene where they're waiting to see it on the news, and the mom's like, you always get your hopes up, don't get your hopes up. And then it says it's not canceled. She like punches the milk.
And
she's a teacher.
And they are definitely like,
see, that's why we don't get our hopes up.
keeping their keeping watch of their wallets. And the dad takes the milk out. Milk's expired. Just a suggestion, drink it.
Just a suggestion, yeah. Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah, that was a good one. I wonder so like I'm the oldest of us 3, and that took place in 1988. So, and I was 4 months old. Like when that took, I wonder for people like 7 to 10 years older than me, if they're like, yes, this is what Christmas was like.
I can't relate to the Nintendo, but I remember like
N64 was like that.
Or even like the PlayStations.
Yeah, we were PlayStation people. We didn't have an N64, but
I think it might have been PlayStation 2 might have been in that.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been a Christmas gift now that I think back on it.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
you get like so excited.
My mom remembered buying my dad the N64, and I think she also got him a Sega.
I think I got a Sega for Christmas actually.
And I guess it was like just as hard as it was in the movie. She was like, yeah, both of those like were insanely expensive for the time.
Yeah.
And like you had to wait in lines at like 3 a.m. if you wanted to like get a shot at getting one.
Right.
It's still like that with gaming systems. People can't get a PS5.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I saw one isn't there a part in the movie where like he sees it for the first time in the store and he's like, whoa,
yeah,
this is crazy.
He plays Rampage.
Yeah. So I was in Target like a couple weeks ago, and they have like the part in the back now where like if you order ahead, they leave them back there. And there was like 5 PS5s just on the shelf waiting. And I was like standing there. I was with my sister and she was returning something. And I was like, those are PS5s. And she was like, okay, I don't care. And I was like, I've never seen one like in the wild. Like, those are real PS5s just on a shelf.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's also dangerous.
I know, lock them up.
Yeah. Put them behind a locked door and
Are
have.
they still super like?
I think so.
Just the same way, like in a waiting room.
You know what it is manufacturing of chips, like microchips.
Yeah. Same thing with cars. And
Yeah.
stuff,
So they're just like, they have these special graphic cards, chips or whatever, that it's just slow.
Shortage.
Yeah. So yeah, we all had very different movies, but what a great little collection.
Yeah, that was a fun idea.
So-
Yeah, I think we'd recommend them all if you haven't seen any of them.
Well, maybe Love Actually now you'll watch with
Yeah,
like a
maybe
different
that's
lens.
a little dated.
If you want to laugh, you can watch
Well,
Love
I think that's
Actually.
the point of it. I think it's maybe now looking on it in hindsight, it's like ridiculous, but I think at the time people were like, "Oh, this movie's the best."
Yeah.
I think it was like a lot of like, oh, they defied the odds.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
everything was against them and for good reason. Looking ahead, I just kind of listed, there's a lot of stuff coming out on Disney Plus that's either like been in theaters or like just new shows. And season 4 of Ozark. It's coming to Netflix January 21st, but you haven't seen that, right?
No.
Okay. So I didn't want to play the trailer because I think it would give away a lot, but part 1 of that's coming out January 21st. Eternals is coming to Disney Plus January 12th.
That's a movie, right?
It's the new Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Free Guy is coming February 23rd. The Ryan Reynolds movie
To
about
Disney?
to Disney Plus. Yeah.
Isn't that on HBO right now?
No.
I don't think so. I think you can like rent it probably through Prime. Like just rent it.
I think
normally.
it's.
Oh, I might have seen it on something. Like, it might have been on Apple
yeah.
Movies or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think
probably.
it was
On
a
HBO,
Warner
yeah.
Brother thing, especially if it's going to Disney.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then new shows coming out next year for Disney Plus is Moon Knight, which is the Oscar Isaac one. She-Hulk. I don't really know anything about that hero, but I think it's literally just like female Hulk. The Obi-Wan show is finally confirmed to be coming out next year. And then a new Star Wars show, Andor, and I think that's the guy who was the lead in Rogue One is the star of this show.
The Diego
Yes.
Luna?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. Is he playing it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think they did like a first look teaser like a few months ago where it's kind of like they interview the cast a little bit, but
I'll have
it
to
looked good.
Check that out. Know what else I saw is the new. Did you guys see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
The animated. There's a new, like across the Spider-Verse, with this Miles Morales and same animated thing.
I like that a lot. I would definitely see that.
Try to grab that teaser.
And isn't the Pixar Encanto, is that out?
I think it's in theaters.
In theaters.
Right now.
Yeah, but I think it's going to Disney Plus. Around.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wasn't there something else coming out on Christmas Day, or was that last year?
Don't look up.
Don't look up on Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah.
No, Book of Boba Fett is coming up Christmas Day.
Yeah. So there's a couple nice shows dropping then.
Disney Plus is really killing
They're,
it.
them and HBO, they do it right. Like, build it up. It's a huge production, and I finished King Richard. I know you guys were wondering. Right, the Thursday before it left, and but that's the way to do it. It's like it's on there for 3 weeks. Watch it when you can.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, I gotta watch it. So they get tons of traffic or like subscriptions. I think people got Disney Plus at the beginning to watch The Mandalorian, canceled it, and then it was like, oh, renewed for a second season. I'll get it again. They're just like really smart about that.
Yeah. Another shout out, just because I said I'd say it last time. The Wheel of Time is that fantasy show. It's actually a book, a pretty popular book, I guess. Written, I think in the early 2000s. But yeah, it's a good like fantasy quest. I mean, right up my alley, but kind of in lines with like The Witcher, which there's a second season of The Witcher out too. But it's pretty good. It's unique and got a good little story. I think you guys actually might like it a little bit more than some of the other fantasy ones that I recommend. So that's on Amazon Prime.
The world is split between light and dark, and you have to walk through the shadow area.
You got it. So yeah, that one's Wheel of Time on Amazon. It's good.
You love the Amazon shows.
Yeah.
Someone's got to represent them.
Exactly.
Okay, I have a Letterboxd review. I chose 8-Bit Christmas. Seemed perfect. Okay, this person gave it 1 star, which is aggressive. And they wrote, after the dog got smashed to death with the TV, I stopped watching. What the F?
Well, keep watching because it just broke 3 legs and some ribs.
Yeah. And then someone else gave it 2 stars and said, I hate children. So.
Jeez.
Wow.
Don't.
I think there's like a Christmas movie I feel like can get away with being less like
serious
and like amazing, like blow you away. It's like it's a Christmas movie. It's like gives you the holiday feels and like nostalgia of being a kid and like all that stuff. Like you're not looking for this like blockbuster epic. It's a Christmas movie. So those are pretty harsh.
There's a lot of snobs on Letterboxd.
Or I feel like something like Letterboxd is you have some people who watch movies and then, give their review.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's I'm gonna make the snarkiest, funniest comment. That's me. That's my brand.
Yeah.
I make the snarky, funny comment.
Oh, I just do a 1-sentence review.
Yeah, it's great. Cam's 1-sentence reviews. You got to get back on it.
You really do.
That really should be your shtick. It'd be so funny to see like what you watched, and then like 3 weeks in a row you just watch Finding Nemo again. Still great.
This segment would just be only your review. I would only read the ones you write.
Yeah, it would be Cam's Letterboxd reviews.
Maybe I gotta get back on it. That'll be my New Year's resolution.
Yeah.
For next season on Stream It. Stay tuned.
When you guys read those 2 that I did a while ago, I was like, oh, like that's a great review. That's exactly how I feel about it.
If you like a game of cat and mouse, you were full of beans that night. Must have splashed something extra into your tea.
You had read them before, like a year ago, and you also still were like, "Oh, is that mine? Oh, I didn't even know."
Funny.
This guy gets me.
It's like speaking to me. Oh man. Well, yeah, I'll work on doing that. Maybe I can write some retroactive ones.
Yeah. For season 5.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll be back in the new year with Stream It.
Absolutely.
Tom might not be back right away.
Yeah, I'll be back in the spring.
Yeah, there we go.
Gotta get my wisdom teeth out.
Yikes.
All right, we'll see you next time on Stream It.